Shout out to you, the person who decided to watch this video. Today we're going to be referencing the astrological exact uh, aspects that are taking place and how said energy may be affecting you or your loved ones in this present time. Today, Venus is trine Mars and Mercury is trine Uranus. Venus and Mercury are both in Sagittarius. Mercury is retrograde. Uranus is in sidereal Taurus, and Mars is in sidereal Gemini. I haven't really talked about Mars retrograde, and that's probably a fault of mine because the energy of not Mars retrograde, Mercury retrograde, I'm going to probably say both of those interchangeably, and that's going to be my mistake. So hopefully I correct myself. Mercury has been retrograde now for about a week and a half, and where it went retrograde was the Uttara Asada Nakshatra, which is symbolized by Ganesha. Ganesha representing the obstacle remover. Now, when you think about the obstacles that need to be removed in your life, if you imagine these obstacles to be external things, the best thing to do right now is to journal and open your mind and elucidate your mind to things that you think are external obstacles. It could be very subtle things, even to the way that you look, right? Or the where you live, or how you live, or what you do for money. If you imagine these things to be obstacles, it could be a job, it could be a relationship. When you're talking about this Mercury retrograde, you're not talking about external obstacles. You're talking about internal obstacles or things that you do that fuck up your life. So when you deal with Ganesha and you deal with the root chakra, you deal with the inner world or the spiritual journey, the most important thing and the thing that I'll be saying for the rest of my existence is that this is a personal internal thing. And it's dope when we incorporate people, it's dope when we build communities, but when we are referencing spiritual development, there could be no such community. There could be no such large conglomerate of people because I cannot be accountable for you doing the work. So if I cannot be accountable for large groupings, you also can't be accountable for intimate relationships. So when you deal with Mercury, this is a very important thing because we're dealing with Mercury retrograde, obstacle removals, and we're in the energy of the sky where partnerships is the general rule. Once we pass the seventh house, if you ain't doing shit with people, you're gonna be fucked up. But see, when you working with people, you gotta be empathic. Don't have to be an empath, but you have to be empathic. And you gotta be in tune with yourself. Cause motherfuckers will play you. Motherfuckers will use you, motherfuckers will abuse you. So when we talk about seventh house moving into eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th houses, these could be toxic relationships, stagnant relationships, or no relationships at all. Same thing, all in the same category, or healthy relationships centered and focused in growth. Obstacle remover. So when you are thinking about your relationships, when you think about anything that's going to happen in your life, the common denominator will be your ability to be great and really set yourself up to be your best self. So, a couple of things that will help you deal with this Mercury retrograde. If you wake up and you don't have a list of shit that you're doing, then you're not doing shit and you're letting your life pass you by, like that old song by Kris Kross. Watching my life go. down. Real simple mathematics. If you don't have a list, if you don't have a point of reference of what the fuck you are doing and why you are doing it, if you're not accomplishing your goals because you're knocking out tasks, then you're not going to reach your goals. However, if you imagine that external obstacles, your college degree choice or the type of relationship that you're in, these things will come up so you can remove the illusion surrounding it so you can take responsibility for your life. Sit in on You cannot sit on the dock of the bay. You can't wait for life to happen. You have to happen. It ain't about what happens, it's what you do. So if you write a list, and if you everything that you write down on your list and you put the emphasis on doing it, it's gonna be a 99% chance that you do all of the things that you want to do. 1% chance some shit might come up. But you gotta play the odds. You gotta play probability. And I would rather have a 99% chance of accomplishing my personal goals than not accomplish my personal goals. So the second thing, do not use your conscious mind as a file cabinet. Your conscious mind, in reference to Mercury retrograde, should be clear, able to perform the present task as the present task comes up. So, what this feels like is heavy emotions, but it's not heavy emotions. It's you putting too much storage on your conscious brain. So, this is 2A. 2B is get your dumb ass a journal. So Mercury retrograde is a very intuitive process in activating DNA and coming up with new solutions and new variations on the overall theme of having the best life possible, which is only an internal process. So you listening to this video can have the best life possible if what? You take care of your motherfucking self. The best life possible is not a vacation. The best life possible is not a BBL. The best life possible is you accomplishing some external goals because people going to hate you, people going to love you, but who gives a fuck if you're not in tune with the cosmos, if you're not in tune with your DNA? So Mercury trine Uranus, when we deal with trines, we're dealing with opportunities. But an opportunity cannot actually be seized if you're doing the same shit. If you are remaining to be the same obstacle that you were to yourself. Because you're too busy saying, well, white people, black people, girls, men, little boys, little girls, fat girls, ugly girls. That's the reason why I'm not successful. Huh? Come again? We could talk about accountability. We could talk about taking advantage. We could talk about seizing the fucking day. But at a certain point, taking full, real, grown, adult accountability and not going into Capricorn energy with emotions, because there are no more emotions. Whatever emotions that you have done crystallized over Scorpio into Sagittarius, like it's crystallized. So this is your emotions, this is what you're dealing with, this is how you're going to feel, this is your paradigm, this is your matrix. So when you break the ice, you remove the ice, or you use that ice, like, ice could be like a block of ice. It could literally block you from creating harmonious partnerships in the realms of the universe, in the world. Like, partnerships are the way of how this shit works, but you can't go into partnerships emotional because you feel a certain type of way. That's idiocracy. That's like, we got these devices, we got this technology, we got our creature comforts, but when you deal with the sun moving into Capricorn, it's going to be really, really important to imagine what life is like or what life is going to be like without technology. When the sun transits into sidereal Aquarius, be prepared for blackouts and grids coming out, but you can prepare for this energy by just getting used to how it used to be in 1994, 1993, not so long ago. There was a time where we did not have these devices. And in reference to not having the devices, life still went the fuck on. Even deeper, whether you have technology or not, is niggas that's in prison, is niggas that's free, and we all got to deal with the same sun as sustenance. We all got to deal with the same moonlight as sustenance. So the type of variations on our ego and consciousness are illusionary concepts. The easier that we can get into the flow of nature, the flow of the cosmos, the flow of the universe, which is you getting outside of yourself, figuring out how to mutualize yourself and the person that you're with romantically, professionally, and say, let's do something mutually beneficial. See, if two people say to a mountain, move, that mountain will move. So when you reference the sun transiting into sidereal Capricorn, it's going to be real simple. The last deacons of Sagittarius deal a lot with overcoming patriarchy. So when you deal with these energies, you have more of a tendency to say, I'm not good enough. I need to get a second job. I need to get a job. My business is not good enough. I'm not making enough money because your patriarchal programming has created this inevitable lack of reality, to say that because you don't have the specific creature comforts that you imagined in your astral world or illusionary world, for which a donkey could be walking with a goddamn mule and be talking to you, and you'd be like, damn, I was talking to a donkey and a mule in my dreams. That shit was crazy. It was like so real, but it's not real. The same way you can imagine shit like that will be the same way that you imagine that you creating this reality for you. And reality is that you're not, until you can talk to a person, until you can say, this is what I'm trying to do, this is how I'm trying to build myself up, this is how I'm trying to level myself up, and this is what I have to offer, this is what I'm going to stand on, this is how I'm going to represent myself, this is how I'm going to represent you. We are mutual, we are one, we're climbing the same mountain, we got the same goals. There's no emotions in that. It might sound crazy. Black people, we have been told love, emotion, emotion, love. We are like we are like niggas like Soldier Boy. We Soldier Boy is a normal nigga to us because we are emotional creatures. Now, what would you actually depend on Soldier Boy to do if you knew him in real life? Would you say, here go $20, Soldier Boy? Can you go to the store for me and come back and trust that he gonna come back with your supplies? I wouldn't. I would go to the store my motherfucking self before I ask Soldier Boy to go. But since we can't be logical and rational, I mean, it is so crazy, right? It's a few people on this live, a couple hundred people gonna watch this video, whatever the case may be. But the real shit is that it's millions of people who are fucking dumb as shit because they allow their emotions to make decisions. Not even like it's normal for a girl to say, well, I liked them, so I fucked them. That's more normal than a person to say, well, I sat down, I talked to him, I got to know him, saw his interests, his future, his trajectory, and I said, this is the plan, this is how we going to do it, this is how we going to manifest, this is how we going to work out our lives, and boom, bam, bam, I had the conversation with this nigga. I built with this nigga. I established a mental understanding. I developed a mutual goal surrounding this nigga that I love so much. No, it's just I love so much and it's gonna carry me through. But damn, at a certain point, you gotta look at all of the single mothers. I mean, you can fuck statistics. You can just look at life and see how this shit plays out. Emotions lead to, oh, I love you so much. He get that pussy. Pussy, sex is a perishable experience. What is perishable? After so long, it gets spoiled. So you got to do it again. After so long, it gets spoiled. So you do it again. When you talk about a relationship, that should not be a perishable experience. That should be a sustainable experience. And sex and emotions do not create it. If I had a cup of water today, how long could I eat off that cup of water? A day, 2 days, it's gonna evaporate. I'm gonna need to fill up that water. So this is what y'all do with emotions. You gotta constantly fill up that water. And the fucked up part about emotions is that it's like 50 First Dates with Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. You forget the nigga that you in the relationship with. You forget the woman that you in the relationship with. It's people that done fucking licked your asshole. Okay? And now you looking at them sideways because you emotional about some shit. Good luck, buddy, finding another girl that's gonna lick your ass like that, and you giving all of that up because you emotional. You can't build. When you look at other races, it boggles our minds because they're making rational and logical decisions based on their future. They're not on no bullshit. They're not emotional when it comes to life and housing and if our children have enough sustenance to be their best selves. They don't fuck around like that and say, "Well, I love this nigga, but he not a good father though." More or less, y'all would know a nigga not a good father and still give him some pussy because you know he got multiple baby daddies. So somewhere in your mind, you think that dick must be good. And this is real normal shit. But then when you start talking about 10th house, Capricorn, building with somebody, how you going to build with somebody if one day you say, I like them, and then the second day, well, I didn't get the vibes. Fuck the vibes. What was the mutual plan to climb to the top of the mountain? Because if it wasn't that, and if you didn't have that within yourself, you wasn't going to never attract nobody like that because energy attracts energy. And so you get that in Cancer, you get that in the summertime where the energy is fruitful, but 10 times out of 10, you got Daisy Dukes on and you trying to score on a nigga, but you're not trying to match. What do they say about water? It seeks its own level. And you don't get too many chances with water because this goes Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. That's all you get. So you and generally those times come and go. Them is like real quick sidereal constellations. So that's Mercury trine Uranus being able to get out your own way and take accountability for your own life and stand in the shit that you trying to accomplish based on the shit that you do. Cause these bitches got superpowers out here nowadays. It won't give you a fucking dime. Won't give you a back rub. Won't tell you, motherfucker, damn, you look handsome today. Won't do shit. But you are a goddess returned from the netherworld, Sekhmet reincarnated. But you can't even compliment a nigga. More or less, you think that I'm an enemy. Shouldn't you be intuitive and psychic and be able different conversation. But the reality is this: you would save yourself a lot of money from switching from your regular insurance and going over to Geico or having a conversation with a nigga perpetually, always not thinking, well, I love him, so it's just going to work out. No. Every day within your relationships, your partnerships deserves a conversation. If you had a serious business and you was going to work and you had to start your day, if you ever worked somewhere serious, what did they have every day before you clock in and do your shit? I'm gonna answer that question. A team meeting. Now, if you had some bullshit slave job, you just went in, did your drone shit. But if you niggas had to communicate and you was working at a restaurant, a top of the line restaurant where the menu is always changing. You ever go to a restaurant and they tell you exactly what we having? Today we having the tuna and the salmon seared with pine nuts. And you like, damn, how you know all of that? Because they had a team meeting. But within your relationships, y'all just love each other so much that y'all don't need to have a team meeting before the day start. Y'all got kids and all type bit like what? Or or you got a relationship with a motherfucker and y'all ain't got shit together but love. Wait a second. I'm scared of that. I'm scared of that. What y'all do together? Well, he go to work and I go to work. I got my friends and he got his friends. What y'all building together? We go half on his rent. Ooh, that's scary, girl. You can't even reduce your ego enough to say let's get a studio apartment and save up all of this and create something worthwhile. Let's have a mutual beneficial. A lot of y'all spending extra shit for the look. And then want to say the world is against you, niggas is against you, the government is against you, the supervisor against you. No, you are against yourself. You worried about dog. It'd be like, well, the world is like this, the prices. No, you could easily deduce whatever the fuck you doing. Whatever habit you got, you could just remove them for the greater cause. But no, Mercury retrograde says specifically, how are you going to remove your obstacles? If an external obstacle is your obstacle, you got a long way to go till you start saying I'm the problem. Cause that's the Mercury is your DNA. Your DNA. So when you talk about it retrograding, it's hitting close to home. You like it's a very peculiar thing. We have this relationship with self or lack of a relationship with self, but then when it comes to I don't got nobody, I'm alone, and I had this, that, and the third, and that. But then you got your whole self. I ain't cried. I remember the last time I cried when How to Read Natal Charts Easily and Effectively came in the mail. I cried, right? And I cried yesterday because I was sitting at my office and my soul was there with me. But my soul have always been there with me. And it was like, damn, you be really acting like I ain't here type shit. And it was like, damn, you are here. Oh fuck. Like, oh shit. And I was just at my fucking office space, hands in my hand, crying. Cause I'm not alone. And I do have assistance. And it's not fucked up for me. As much as I wanna create that ambiance for niggas. I like the fucked up nigga aesthetic or some shit like that, but that ain't me for real. I'm very fortunate. I got a lot of people looking out for me, but I feel like I need to remove, in reference to the waning moon, I need to remove that lowly nigga energy. I am a lone wolf energy, cause that ain't me for real. I can help you, you can help me, we could work together. It's all good with me. But at a certain point, I don't love you. I ain't no emotions. You could be tangible, reasonable, mutual. You don't have to pay me, but you gotta have something in it for me. It gotta be something in it for me if we gonna be working together. Cause I done gave all of that up in a way. All I've done it all to the point where it's just like I don't have no more of hey, I hope you like me in me. No more. I don't got it no more. I gave it all away. I tried to get everybody to like me, and it didn't. I mean, it worked kinda, but not really. I seen a post on Facebook. It was all of these spiritual motherfuckers on there, and somebody had comment like, "Well, why Kyrie ain't on this list?" And I was thinking like, "Well, why ain't I on that list? Like, why ain't I on that list for real? Like, why ain't I on that list? Okay, cool, whatever. You got that, boom. All right, straight, whatever. However you want to play it, whatever. Maybe I don't scam niggas enough, whatever. However you want to play it. But I'm saying all of this to say because you also have Venus trine Mars. And whenever you have a Venus Mars aspect, you also have an opportunity in reference to achieving godhood. Venus is in Capricorn. Mars is in the Gemini energy, the energy of learning to put the effort into the act of self love, the act of self realization, where it's good. We could talk about this shit all day. We can read the books and niggas can post some shit and you can like it and share it and everybody be like, oh my God, that's some deep ass shit you said. But I'm talking about the reason why Mars and Gemini is so difficult because we like to talk about it. We don't want to really be about it. We don't really want to say, well, I'm kind of like in the mode of this, and this is my truth today, and this might hurt you, but you know what I'm saying. This is how I'm living today. What the fuck, you know what I'm saying? And and that's healing to you. Might hurt another motherfucker, but understand you can't hurt nobody. You can only hurt yourself by not acting as you realize yourself and develop as a spiritual being. And the reason that you do this work is to attain some reference of who you are as a spiritual being. I can say this till I'm blue in the face. You can manifest all that you want to manifest, and congratulations that you've manifested it. However, if you haven't seen yourself energetically, you don't know yourself. And the act of self realization, the act of achieving your goals, accomplishing your goals, and showing up for yourself, acting like, all right, if you was going on a date with a motherfucker that was so sexy, right? What would you bitches do? Put on lipstick, wear a wig, take care of yourself, throw on your sexy outfit. But this a bullshit ass, fucking thugged out ass, slightly homosexual ass nigga that you don't even realize for real. This nigga ain't shit. And you doing all of this effort for his bummy ass. But then when it's for your soul, this is what made me cry. Cause I haven't showed up for myself all the time. I haven't showed up for myself all the time. I was acting as if I didn't have a higher calling. I was acting as if I didn't have a purpose. I was acting as if every day was just, what the fuck ever, I'm thinking that the world is against me. It's easy for me to say that. It's easy for me to say the world is against me. I got receipts. Still not an excuse. I'm against me. Because if I don't show up for myself, if I don't show up for my family, then that's my obstacle. So it's like it ain't easy, this spiritual shit. And I don't care how much money you give these niggas. I was on a bitch website. She charging 1,500 for what the fuck? Okay, give her the money. Hopefully you solve all your problems. Hopefully that works for you. But I'm gonna tell you the reason why you gonna pay a bitch, the reason why you gonna wait in line for a bitch to do your fucking past life regression is because this shit is hard. This shit is difficult. This shit make you look at everybody side eye. So when it comes down to it, pay a nigga, right? Go ahead, spend all the money that you making, and hopefully, I swear to God, I hope it worked for you. But otherwise it's gonna be excruciating to not to put your motherfucking phone down, to put the goddamn music down, to pick up a pen, grab some paper, write a list of the shit that you gonna fucking do today, and write it down. It's gonna be excruciating to discipline your dumb ass. I know it's gonna motherfucking hurt, but what's gonna feel better? You accomplishing your goals or not accomplishing your goals? You answer me that shit and we can have a motherfucking conversation. If you the type of nigga that say, I'm just the type of motherfucker that don't like accomplishing shit, then we're not in the same frequency. But it get down to a point that your goals need to be visualized, and when you hearing shit, you can't just be acting like, well, I heard some shit. Your mind is not a file cabinet. Your mind is a fucking cup. So if you listen to this video, enjoyed this video, and you like, man, I really like this video, but you ain't take no fucking notes, unsubscribe from my channel. Stop listening to me. Stop fucking with me because you wasting both of our fucking time. I sat and took notes for 2 hours to deliver this message to y'all. And that's the excruciating part. Cause you gotta have a journal. You gotta keep track of this shit. And you can't keep track of nothing in your mind. When you do that, your emotions take over. And what's your emotions? Just think 51st dates. You turn into Drew Barrymore. You forget everything and everybody because you haven't created a system of release. Our mind is a cup. We need to wake up every day with an empty cup. And when we fill it up throughout the day, we empty it. How do we empty it, Kyrie? You journal. Why do we journal? Cause fuck your phone. Before phones, the way that we got freaky and nasty was pen to paper. The way that we was on social media was pen to paper. The way that we got our shit happening was pen to paper. You think because you got a fucking technological device that shit don't matter now? Try it. And if it works, it works. But if you want to change, you want change in your life. It's 37 people in the chat. I know I can get some responses. One's in the chat if you want change to happen in your life, positive change to happen in your life. One's in the chat if you want positive change to happen in your life. Two, if you want negative change to happen in your life. I don't know. It's not a trick question. It's not a trick question. So, if you want positive change to happen in your life, and y'all affirm positive change to happen in your life, you have to be the motherfucking positive change. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's it. That's all. That's the video. Y'all have a great night.